Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss about the time value of money. Okay, so as we are saying the time value of money, so here it is deal that money available at the present time is worth more than the some amount in future due to its potential of earning capacity, right? So what it is indicating that whatever the amount of money we are having today, so its value will not be same as in the future. It will be changing because of the amount of wealth creation by its worth of the money in the future. Okay, because of its potential. This course principle of finance holds that money can earn interest. Any amount of money is worth more than sooner it's received. So that means money, it will be, if I keep it kept in the bank, it is going to generate the earning source for any of the investor, or because money is earning its interest per yearly basis, right? So in some cases what will happen, if we are borrowing it from the money, if a person is borrowing the money, in that case after a certain time when he is going to return it, he is not going to return the same amount of the money which he has bought. He has going to give the more amount what he has bought from at the initial date. So whatever that extra amount he is giving, so that we call as time value of the money if we compare with the respect to the time. Here what we are doing, we are comparing, we are giving the value of the money to the time. We are combining the time with respect to the value for the money. So in this case what will happen, so whatever the extra generated amount, it is represented as interest amount. Okay, so here the original amount which is invested or borrowed, that means if I am keeping the amount of ₹1 lakh in a bank, right, at today, so and after certain years or after 1 year I am going to get the more amount with respect to the depending upon the interest rate, right? So whatever the ₹1 lakh I am going to keep it in the bank, that amount we will consider it as the principal amount, and after the 1 year whatever the amount I am getting, total amount, that will be my final amount. Whatever the difference it is there, difference of the total final amount received to the principal amount, that we consider as the interest amount. And the amount of interest indicates that increase between the principal amount invested or borrowed and the final amount received. Yes, I have given the example for the investment, right? Same thing can be taken by the loan. That what we are doing, we are borrowing the amount ₹1 lakh. So if I am borrowing the ₹1 lakh from the bank, in that case what will happen, bank will not give you a 0 rate of % of interest, right? They will charge for the some amount for every yearly basis, right? After 1 year if I am going to return the amount of they will charge us. So that amount we consider it as the interest amount, right? So in this in case of investment made in the past, the total amount of the interest accumulated till now is given by, so amount of interest is equal to total amount received minus original amount, or we can say that principal amount. So it will give me the amount of interest. Similarly, if I am borrowing the money or borrowing the some amount, in that case amount of interest will become the present amount owed, means at present how much amount of I am going to give minus the original loan amount or original principal amount. So here we can principal amount, it can be applied for the both for the investment purpose as well as for the if I am borrowing purpose also. Okay, whatever the initial amount it is there, that we consider as the principal amount, and whatever the interest amount is whatever the extra amount I am getting other than principal amount or extra amount I have to pay, so that amount we consider it as the amount of interest. In both cases there is a net increase over the amount of the money that was originally invested or borrowed, right? When the investment amount is expressed as a percentage of the original amount per unit time, the resulting parameter is known as the rate of interest and is generally designated as I, right? Rate of interest, we have heard this term whenever we go to the bank, right? Bank, what the bankers, they will say that if we keep the money in our bank for 1 year, we are going to give the interest rate of 6% or 5%. If you make a fixed deposit, they will give the interest rate of 8% or 10%, like that. So that whatever the percent, it will be indicating that what it is saying that the interest amount what I calculated earlier, right? So that is expressed in terms of percentage. If I express in terms of percentage with respect to the original amount, that is principal amount, that we consider as the interest rate, and it is generally designated in terms of I. Okay, the time period over which the interest rate is expressed is known as interest period. So here, if interest period is if I am going to keep the amount of 1 lakh rupees in the bank for a period of 1 year. So that what time indicates duration of the amount we are keeping in the bank. So that time is indicated as interest period. Okay. If I am similarly, if I am borrowing the amount for a period of 1 year, in that case, that 1 year time period it is there, that we consider as the interest period. So for that 1 year period, we are going to get the interest, or we are going to pay for the interest, right? The interest rate is generally expressed per unit per unit year. Okay. However, in some cases what will happen, it can be expressed in terms of per month also, right? In some cases they will charge per month interest, they will get the money, right? So this is how it will be taken. So here we will discuss with using the one example to calculate the rate of interest. Okay. So here a person is deposited of rupees 1 lakh in a bank for 1 year and has got rupees 1,10,000 rupees at the end of the 1 year. Find out the total amount of interest and the rate of interest per year on the deposited money. So here in this problem, 1 lakh rupees is our principal amount, right? 1 lakh is principal amount, and at the end of the 1 year, so year of duration is what? 1 year, and total amount we received is, final amount it is 1 lakh rupees, 1,10,000 rupees. To calculate the total amount of interest. So to calculate the amount of interest, what our formula it is there, final amount we are receiving minus principal amount. So that is 1,10,000 rupees minus 1 lakh. It will give us the 10,000 rupees. So this is the amount of interest. So similarly, to calculate the rate of interest per year is given by CL per year for 1 year purpose. So here is equal to our formula is what? Amount of interest, total amount of interest divided by principal amount into 100. It will give me the rate of interest in terms of per year, right? So for this purpose, or we can say that per unit time duration, right? So here 10,000 it is the interest amount, and divided by 1 lakh rupees, it is the principal amount into 100, it will give me the 10%. So 10% is our what? Rate of interest for 1 lakh rupees for a 1 year deposit, right? This is how we will calculate the percentage of rate of interest, right? Similarly, for next example, if a person borrows 1,50,000 rupees, okay, for 1 year and returns 1,62,000 rupees at the end of the 1 year. So in that case, again the amount of interest paid and the rate of interest are calculated as follows. So here to calculate the amount of interest paid, our formula is total amount as to pay, returned amount, that is 1,62,000 rupees minus principal amount, so that is 1,50,000 rupees. So it will give us the rupees 12,000, right? So to calculate the rate of interest, I is I as per the 1 year duration, it will be given as what? Amount of interest divided by principal amount, that is amount of interest is 12,000 divided by principal amount is what? 15,000, 1,50,000 into 100, so is equal to 8%. So 8% is our rate of interest for 1 year of the borrowing the amount, right? So this is how we will calculate the rate of interest, right, for a simple interest it is, right? Okay. In next videos we will calculate the simple interest and compound interest and on. Okay, thank you.